Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I got a very tragic and sad commentary coming to you straight out of two states in the South, Louisiana, and the conclusion of this story ended up in Mississippi. And this is filled with some of the pillars that I say that are destroying our American society. Mental health issues that are untreated, the opioid crisis, drug abuse, and sometimes there's just people out here that are just pure evil and don't deserve life in prison. And I'm not a huge advocate for the death penalty, but some people who commit death and commit very extreme harmful acts against humans that fall in the category of being inhumane, sometimes they deserve death. And in this particular case, if these allegations are true, these two people should be buried under the jail. So let's get into it. Straight out of Louisiana, where a brutal stabbing, sinister plan, shocking details released in the Brunett killings. A Mississippi grand jury on Thursday indicted Daniel Callahan and his alleged accomplice in connection with the killing of a Louisiana mother and the kidnapping of her two daughters, one of whom was found dead in Jackson, Mississippi. Callahan, 36, was indicted on 1 count of capital murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, 3 counts of sexual battery, and 1 count of receiving stolen property. His accomplice, his girlfriend, Victoria Cox, 32, was indicted on capital murder, kidnapping, and sexual battery charges also. Both face similar charges in Tanpingapa Parish in Louisiana. Graphic new details were also revealed in the case that left 35-year-old Callie Brunett of LaRanger, Louisiana, and her 4-year-old daughter, Erin Brunett, dead. And Callie Brunett is the ex-girlfriend of Mr. Callahan. Brunett's older daughter, who is 6 years old, survived the kidnapping and was found in a dirt pit next to her sister, according to court documents. The series of horrific and inhumane events that spanned 2 days, 2 states, were called a senseless tragedy by Tangipahoa Sheriff's Chief Jimmy Travis. It's a tough word. Tangipahoa. Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade said that he has worked in homicide for 9 years, but what he witnessed in the wooded area where Callahan and the 2 girls were found is an image stained in his mind forever. He said, "I will never forget that baby in the woods." Now they talk about it being such a senseless tragedy. On Thursday, June 13th, detectives found Callie Brunett, 35, dead in the bedroom of her LaRanger home on North Cooper Road after being reported missing for 24 hours. Mr. Callahan, had allegedly stabbed Brunett about 30 times, court records show. Following the discovery of Callie Brunett's body, deputies reported that her 2 children were missing from the home, triggering a frantic statewide search. Brunett's black 2012 Chrysler 200 was also missing, according to court records. In the course of the investigation, authorities discovered that Callahan and the 2 girls were spotted in a McDonald's in Macomb, Mississippi that afternoon, Travis said. Authorities were staging on Boozer Drive in Jackson doing their search for Callahan and the two girls when two people approached and said they had heard children screaming in the woods behind a home on the street. Shortly after, Erin and her sister were located in a pit on the property about 50 yards behind the house. Brunett's car was found nearby on the property also. The mother of the two children. Authorities found the oldest daughter alive but injured, and the youngest daughter, Erin, was found dead. During an interview with law enforcement, Mr. Callahan, said that he was going to keep the living child, the sister of Erin that was found dead, he was going to keep her as a sex slave, court documents say. That's what Mr. Callahan told the police. He added that he had been wanting to kill Brunett for some time. Callahan and Brunett had dated off and on, according to WWL Louisiana and multiple other news outlets. During the interview with authorities, Callahan said that after stabbing Brunett and kidnapping the children, he took them to Mississippi, where they stayed at the Boozer Drive home. The girls were crying at the residence and did not want to stay with Mr. Callahan. At the time, a detective at the Jackson Police Department, Tommy Brown, said that investigators found potential signs of human trafficking in a supposedly abandoned home close to where Erin's body was found, which was the younger daughter of Miss Brunett. While it was not proven that the property was linked to the crime, Brown said that authorities found cages inside the home. Court documents did not specify if the abandoned home was the Boozer Drive residence. So, Callahan said to the police when he was arrested that he did it. On Friday, June 14th, Callahan and Miss Cox, that's the young lady that's his new girlfriend, who police said were dating, were arrested and booked in connection with the killings. Callahan was booked by the Tangipahoa Sheriff's Office with a long list of accusations, including first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, and armed robbery. Cox was booked by Jackson Police with capital murder and SA in connection to the case. Callahan admitted to reporters that he was responsible for the deaths of baby Erin, the little girl Erin, and her mother, Miss Brunett. Proceeding for him to go on a long tangent about his mental health history while Mississippi police escorted him to jail. He said he was sober, no drugs in his system. He said, "I did it," Callahan said. "For what I did," he said, "he deserved the lethal injection, and it would be the easiest thing for him to have done to him, for the state to do to him, lethal injection. He wants the death penalty." By the next week, a grand jury in Tangipahoa Parish charged Callahan with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, and one count of second-degree kidnapping. Cox, his new girlfriend, and his accomplice faces 1 count of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, 1 count of second-degree kidnapping, and 1 count of first-degree murder there as well, according to District Attorney Scott Perilou. Both could face the death penalty. So these 2 individuals have been charged in both states. They crossed state lines. It started out in Louisiana, and with the crime against with Mr. Callahan and his accomplice killing the mother of the 2 kids, Miss Brunett, who was his ex-girlfriend. She got killed in Louisiana, and then Callahan and Miss Cox decided to take the 2 kids across state line into Mississippi, and they're trying to, both states' authorities are trying to figure out where the young lady, the little girl, was murdered, whether it was in Louisiana and or Mississippi. She was found in Mississippi, and she was 4 years old, Erin Brunett. What do we have here? This is a barrage of mental health issues, uh, drug abuse, the opioid crisis, homelessness, a laundry list and a long history of mental illness that has not been treated. Um, and there are people that are walking around who are evil, who have undiagnosed mental health issues, whether it's schizophrenia, uh, a multiple personality disorder, what have you. And this is a very unfortunate circumstance. But one thing about Mr. Callahan, even if he had all those issues, he was savvy and slick enough to convince his new girlfriend and to mastermind this whole idea that he said he's been wanting to harm his ex-girlfriend, Miss Brunett, for a long time now. So he was conscious and aware to plot that out and then to commit the crime and take his ex-girlfriend's 2 children across state line, and then inevitably and undeniably, allegedly, killed the 4-year-old little girl, Erin Brunett. This is definitely a case where it involves his ex-girlfriend, who he allegedly killed, and it involves his new girlfriend, who allegedly participated and is also an accomplice or a perpetrator in this heinous crime. This is such a sad story that I wanted to expose to my viewers. Mental illness, drug addiction is very real. Undiagnosed mental illness. There are evil people walking around this planet. I am not a big advocate for the death penalty. However, certain individuals and certain crimes that are being committed against other individuals, and the high propensity of inhumanity that sometimes takes place in these cases, some of these individuals, if they get convicted and are the alleged perpetrators in some of these heinous crimes, they deserve the same thing that they did to the innocent victims. Many times I would prefer for individuals just to rot in jail, but I don't think in this particular situation that Mr. Callahan and Miss Cox, if these allegations are correct, deserve to breathe another day of fresh air. They deserve the same result of life that they allegedly committed against Miss Brunett and her 4-year-old daughter, Erin Brunett. Such a sad case. Involves 2 states, Louisiana and Mississippi, and I think Mississippi has the death penalty. So, Mr. Callahan said he wants the death penalty if convicted. He should get just what he's asking for, and Miss Cox should get the same. This is a very sad story, and I pray for Miss Brunett's family and the little girl, the sister that is the 6-year-old survivor. They did not deserve this, and this is a real commentary that we have to be very careful who we pick as friends, as boyfriends, as husbands, as wives, because there are some evil people walking these streets and walking this earth today. And these are 2 clear examples of individuals who don't deserve one day of freedom, let alone another day of breathing fresh air, if these allegations are correct. Tell me what you think about this heinous crime that took place against a mother and her 2 children. One ended up getting killed, the 4-year-old daughter, but the 6-year-old daughter has survived. She is going to need all the help and therapy that she can get for the rest of her life. Tell me what you think about this case. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a positive, righteous, and God-fearing way.